Hi, hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi, my name's Zoe. Please subscribe, it'd mean the absolute world to me. I've got a little family of like 150 people here on YouTube and it's amazing and I love my little family so much. I post on Mondays, I post on Wednesdays, I post on Saturdays and Sundays, and Saturdays and Sundays at the moment are primarily true crime videos. So today it is a Saturday, so that means it is another true crime video, and on Sunday I'll be posting another addition to my serial killer Sunday, so make sure you turn that bell on ready for that. Now before getting into this video, I do want to apologise. As you can probably tell from my voice, I am so ill. I am really sick and I still needed to film this video and get it out to you. I do apologise for that. I am so sorry. So today we are talking about another true crime video, and I just want to give my sort of usual disclaimer. In this video we are going to be talking about murder, we are going to be talking about death, and if that is something that triggers you, please click off this video. I'll link my previous video below, which is Valentine's Day look, which you might be more interested in. And also, I don't want to disrespect anybody who's involved in the case, anybody who knows the victims, any family members, anything like that. I don't want to cause any harm. This is just educational purposes. I'm putting this case together with all the information from online just so people out there are aware of the case. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So today we are going to be talking about the Scream murder, and this is unfortunately the murder of a 16-year-old girl back in 2006. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right back to the beginning and I'm just going to talk you through everything that happened. Cassie Stoddart was born on the 21st of December in 1989. She was from Portocello in Idaho. She was a very lovely girl. She was well liked by the community, well liked by her friends and family. She was a very likeable girl and she was very popular. She had a lot of friends. She was also a straight A student. That is one of the things that meant the most to her, was her schooling. She was really wanted to come out of school with good grades. She never caused any trouble in school or at home. She was a very mature 16-year-old. She was a very good girl, without trying to sound like undermining or anything, but that's what she was. So she had a boyfriend called Matt Beckham, and she also hung around with two other boys who attended the same school as her. The two other boys were called Brian Draper and Tori Adamczyk. I don't know if I'm saying his surname right, I will put it on the screen. I do apologise for that. So Brian spent most of his childhood growing up in Utah, and then he moved to Portocello where he started to attend school, and that is where he met Cassie, and that is where he also met Tori. So on the 22nd of September 2006, Cassie agreed to house sit for her aunt and uncle. Now this wasn't an unusual thing. They was out of town and she was a very mature adult. She knew not to get into trouble. She knew to be very adult about situations. She wasn't one of these teenagers who'd see the opportunity to have a party. She just wasn't that type of girl. So Cassie's boyfriend Matt decided to spend the evening with Cassie so she wasn't alone, tried to make her feel a little bit better because she's in a house on her own, so he was just there for support and just so they could hang out. So Matt decided to invite Brian and Tori over, and they was gonna chill out and watch a movie together. But about a little while after arriving, Brian and Tori changed their minds and said, oh, we don't want to watch a movie here, we're going to go off to the movie theatre or cinemas if you're from the UK, and we're going to watch it there. So that was fine, and then they left. And about 15 minutes after they left the property, the power went out. It all cut out. The power was pitch black. There was nothing. And Cassie was really understandably scared. If I was in a house personally and the whole power had gone off, I'd be really scared myself, so it's totally understandable. So Matt decided to call his mother and he said, Mum, can I stay over? Cassie's really upset. There's no power at the house, we don't know what's gone on. And his mother turned around and said, no, sorry, I don't give you permission to stay over. And he respected his mum's decision as much as he wanted to stay with Cassie. So Matt decided to call Tori and Brian and just say, yo, I'm going home. You know, my mum's going to come and pick me up. And his mum picked him up a short time later around 10:30 p.m. So Before Matt had even left the home, Tora and Brian had re-entered the house, and it was them who cut the power off at the circuit board. So they decided to hide in the basement, and they hid in the basement expecting Cassie to come downstairs and try and figure out what was going on with the power. But Cassie didn't come down to the basement. Obviously she probably was too scared. If she was too scared to be in the house alone, I think the last thing she would have done is gone down to the basement alone. So she decided she was just going to stay in the living room. So after a short while, Brian and Tori realised that Cassie wasn't going to go downstairs of her own free will. So they decided to go upstairs to the living room where Cassie was. They was disguised in black clothing. They also had masks covering their face. And they went to the living room and stabbed Cassie to death. So the autopsy on Cassie's body revealed that she was stabbed at least 30 times, and at least 12 of these stab wounds were fatal.
I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat, and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. Oh, fuck. That felt like it wasn't even real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the fuck up. We gotta get our act straight.
Okay.
So then, assuming Brian and Tori just ran and left, and Cassie's body was just left there for 2 days before being discovered by her cousin. Her 13-year-old cousin discovered her dead in the living room. So online there isn't much about between Cassie being found and Tori and Brian being arrested. There isn't a lot of information there. But 5 days after the murder, Brian and Tori were arrested on suspicion of murder. So when they was interrogated by police, they were trying to pin the blame on each other. They was saying that either one of them had set it up, or they seen it happen and they didn't inflict the wounds, but they watched it happen by the other person. So for example, Brian was saying that Tori was stabbing Cassie, but he just stood there, he wasn't involved. And that is what baffles me. If you're going to try and blame each other, then if that was the true situation, why haven't you stopped that? Why haven't you tried to stop the attack from happening? But I suppose we'll never know what was going through their minds. So during the investigation, a video was found, and this video was of Brian and Tori, and they were discussing days before her death how they was going to kill her. They had planned her murder. They was fully aware of what they was going to do before they entered that house at night.
There should be no law against killing people. I know it's a wrong thing, but hell, you restrict somebody from it, they're gonna want it more.
But you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. Our first victim is going to be Cassie Stoddart. She's going to be alone in a big, dark house out in the middle of nowhere. How perfect can you get? September 22nd, 2006. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I unlocked the back doors, so it's all locked. Now we just gotta wait.
They had videotaped, and I don't know what purpose or what they expected to do with this video, but they videotaped themselves talking about how they was going to murder her. It was also found out that the pair were really obsessed with killers, in particular school shooters, so people that had gone into schools and caused a lot of, you know, fatal injuries and deaths. They looked up to them people for some reason. They really admired school shooters, which I think is a red flag. If you notice that someone's got an obsession like that, I think maybe you should tell somebody. So Brian was obsessed with horror films, and he was particularly obsessed with the film Scream, and that is why this murder was dubbed the Scream murder, because he said that that movie inspired him to do what they did to Cassie. That was their inspiration. So they had gone into the property, like I've said, and purposely waited for her to be alone. They purposely waited to target Cassie, which is just totally heartbreaking. And the day after her death, Matt was trying to get in touch with Cassie to find out what was going on. She wasn't picking up her phone, and this wasn't usual for Cassie, and he was really worried. And they was with Matt at this time, sympathising with him, making him feel better. After knowing exactly what they did, they still decided to act as if nothing happened, as if they hadn't done anything, and sympathised her boyfriend, and that just totally bewilders me. It's just sick. So after the interrogation, Brian had led the police to where they had buried all the clothes and knives and masks and everything used in this attack. So on the 21st of August 2007, Brian and Tori were both convicted with first-degree murder, and they were sentenced to life in prison without parole. And they was also both convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, and for this they both got 30 years placed on top of their sentence. So the whole of Cassie's family have been totally affected by this awful attack and this awful situation, and my heart really breaks for them. And understandably, after the attack, Cassie's aunt and uncle didn't go back to their home. They were placed in temporary accommodation and then decided to sell up. They never went back. No matter how many times they put it on the market or for whatever price, they still can't sell it. Nobody wants to buy it because of the history that it's got. And also Cassie's 13-year-old cousin, who did find her dead, was really affected by this as well. I think she did try to commit suicide, which is so sad. Thankfully it didn't work and she is still alive today, but it's just so heartbreaking what that family have gone through and what them two people have caused. They've not only murdered Cassie and caused a ripple effect through the family, they've affected everybody around Cassie, because like I said at the beginning, she was really popular and well liked. She was a lovely girl. She never caused trouble with anyone, so she really didn't deserve for this to happen to her. So I'm glad that Tori and Brian are now sentenced to life in prison and they will never get out. They have tried to appeal it and that's just been totally whacked out, because there is no chance that they will be leaving prison and there is no chance that they'll be able to harm anybody ever again. So that is it for this video. I'm so sorry, I sound so sick. It was so hard to film that because my voice is like crackling and I'm sniffling, and I'm so sorry. I hope I get better soon. So yeah, that's all for this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and also turn on that bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I do upload 4 times a week and sometimes a bonus video here and there. This week's bonus video was a Valentine's Day look, so go and check that out. I'll link that down below. And like I said, please subscribe, and I shall see you tomorrow in my Serial Killer Sunday video. Thank you. Bye.